Thank
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
because I know that I couldn't have done all of, even gotten to this point without you. And I mean, like, I need to continue working with you, obviously, because
Yeah.
we still have work to do. But just to get to this point where I feel way more confident in my messaging and knowing my audience way more intimately than I did before, and really
Yeah.
understanding their problems, really understanding how to speak to them, how to say things to them in a way that will prompt them to take action. Like, just even getting to this point where I'm not on a sales call for an hour and a half, but 15 to 20 minutes max closing people.
Yeah.
That alone, just mine is blown, because I was over that. And so now to even be in a place where I can even be focused on evergreening it out and have more freedom and not have to stress, that is kind of what my goal was. So I've gotten way more than I initially even thought or bargained for out of this whole process, because you didn't just help me with the webinar, but you actually helped me with my entire process, like all the
Yeah.
things that were holding me back, and even broke through a lot of mental barriers that I was having because
Yeah.
I was just taught so long. So just sort of helping me rewire even my thinking or my approach about a lot. I know that I couldn't have done that without you, helping me through that and really
Yeah.
working diligent with me and working with me as well, um, when times were hard. So I am just grateful to even be at this point, because it has been a struggle. And now I just feel super, super clear. I have a lot more clarity about my offer, who I what I do, just the whole nine. I just feel
Yeah.
way more confident in that. So thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome. You're welcome. And what's more exciting to me is that I remember our first call, you were so like you didn't want to have it. You
Yeah.
didn't want to have it. But yeah, it's like it's been a journey. It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I was over it because I'm like, I already been investing. Like, I've invested all of this money and it has got me nowhere. Like, why? Like, what's gonna be different this
Different.
time?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I kind of took a day to step back and like go with my gut on this one, because I didn't have the money. I'm gonna be honest. Like, your girl hustled to be able to, but I knew that this was something that I needed to do in my gut, even though in my head I was just like, I don't what like why is this gonna be different this time? I've been down this road before. I've paid 10K for this, 10K for that. Like, what's going to be different? And it has been a whole hell of a lot different than anything that I've invested in prior to, because of the depth that we were able to really work together is very different than me being in like another group coaching program,
Yeah.
where it's getting that real customized feedback from you and really just being able to learn directly from you. That has also made a big difference, in everything. So I'm grateful for sure.
Welcome. I'm grateful for you cooperating as well. Really, I mean, because I gave you so many things that probably shook your foundations, but you decided to accept them and go with the flow, do exactly what I said. It really helped, really. I mean, there are people who don't get results as much as they should because they only take some parts of it and then they leave out some parts, hoping that they can still bring in their own ideology into my ideology. But
Mhm.
then it kind of ruins it, right? So I'm glad that you also took like you just flowed, you went with the flow, right?
Yeah,
So, and
yeah.
that's awesome.
Whatever you told me to do, I was doing, because obviously I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I was going to listen to what you said,
Yeah.
because I trusted you as the expert, and you really showed me that you know what the hell you're talking about. Like you know your stuff. Like, you know what you're talking about. Sometimes I'm like, wow, I would have never, like, mind blown. I never would have thought of this, or I never would have thought that just doing this one thing was wrong, or like, wow, I didn't know that. So even when it's been uncomfortable at times for me, because I've had to deal with me and like look in the mirror and say like, okay, even though it's uncomfortable, or to hear that feedback is what you need, you need to do it. You obviously need to do something different. So just trust the expert to guide you. So yeah, it's been some tough conversations at times, but it was necessary. So if
Yeah.
anybody decides to work with you, they need to be willing to trust the process, because honestly, just trusting your process and trusting where you led me has got me this far already, further in just such a short time than what I've been able to accomplish over the 2 years that prior to working with you and just kind of investing in other things. So that makes a huge, huge difference. So the person needs to be definitely open and willing to rewire the way that most coaches have been taught
Yeah.
to think about different things, for sure. So it's worth it. I'm going to let everybody else know.